Alright guys, we're going to be taking a look at the tier list for Pokemon Masters for the beginning of 2021, and then in about 4 months from now or so, then we'll come back to this and see how the tier list has changed. And of course, shout out to Norse FTX and Galov, I think that's just say it, but shout out to these guys since they made the article. And of course it does take time to make these kind of articles. But anyways, let's take a look at what their tier list is. It's been a while since I actually took a look at the GamePress tier list. But I thought, you know what, let's do it. It's the beginning of 2021. So let's just take a look at this and then come back to this in the future. But we're going to be starting off with the support. I didn't take a look at this. I only took a quick glance at the top of the list. But for the support, this is the tier list for the support, and for the support, this is tier 1. And for tier 1, we have Mega Blastoise, we have Swanna, we have Alakazam, and then Meganium. And right off the bat, I could honestly agree with tier 1. Blastoise is such a dominant support. He is easily the best because he can even do a ton of damage as well. And then Swanna, with her 6-star awakening coming very, very soon, she is gonna be even more dominant as well because she does a bunch of healing. And if you can get very lucky on MP refresher, you could just have healing for the entire match as well. And then she increases your speed to the max, she increases your physical defense to the max. Like, she is very, very good. And then you have Alakazam, and he increases your crit chance to the max as well, and then he increases your special attack to the max. And then he has the physical attack barriers, so he does a good amount as well. And all of these Pokemon, the tier 1 Pokemon, they're going to be aging very, very well, including Meganium. She has crit. She can give everyone crit as well, which is very good. And then she can give special attack, and then she can give a little bit of speed, I think. They give an explanation to them, but we'll take a quick look at each one of these. Like, we're not going to go through everyone. But the description for Lyra is, Lyra Synchrid has given it everything people have been saying it needed since its release. And now that it's finally here, the pair has snatched several niches away from its fellow supports that became a highly versatile pair. You can't go wrong with a fully built Lyra on any team looking for supportive buffs, and that's very true. Beyond the my raid of team-wise stat bonuses the grid gave it among the massively powerful critical squad, it also completely changed the way Sun Team functions by putting Solar Eyes on a pair that's both unlimited and quite good on its own. In today's Pokemon Masters, if you use Sun, you use Meganium without exception, and that's actually really true as well. Because like the benefits that you have with Meganium in the Sun is just too good. Like, you need to have Meganium on the team if you have Sun. Even if you don't, the pair's excellent buff toolbox and respectable bulk make it a welcome addition to any team looking to round out its offensive stat boost. And yeah, like, honestly, I agree with this. This is a solid tier 1, and I definitely agree with the selection for tier 1 for sure. Blastoise is easily number 1. Like, you can put him on any team, and that team is automatically gonna get super, super good. That's without a doubt. And then same with Swanna. Of course, like, regardless, Swanna as well, like, or any of them. For any of them, like, you can just put them on any team. But Meganium is going to benefit on a Sun team, of course. But you can just put all these guys on any team, and that team is going to get very good from having the support on the team. So then we're going to go for tier 2. This is all of them right here. So we got Rotom, we got Misty, we have Lily with Rabombi, and then we have Jasmine with Steelix, Dawn Torterra, Glacier, and Mega Glalie. And then we have Rose and Delibird, Lily and Clefairy, Erica and Comfy. So just looking at this right off the bat, honestly, definitely Starmie for sure. Rotom is good as well, but when it comes to the evasiveness, that's a hit or miss, and quite literally, actually. Like, it is annoying. with the evasiveness, like you need to get hit quite a bit of times, and depending on the situation and battle that you're in, Rotom might actually take a lot of damage right off the bat, and you're not even going to build up enough evasiveness to start dodging. Now, of course, if you want to have Misty and Starmie on the team with Synchronous, Elisa, and Rotom, then then you can get a little bit ahead of the game and have a little bit of evasiveness right off the bat, and then start building up the evasiveness with Rotom's ability if you want to do that. But like, I don't see a point in doing it, because then you're gonna start to sacrifice some offensive buffs that you can bring to the team, depending on the situation and teams that you're running with, of course. But honestly, Starmie for sure, definitely for tier 2. Starmie is very, very good support. Lily and Rabombi, easily a very good new support type to the game as well. Steelix, 100%, he is an insane physical defensive wall for sure, along with giving the team physical defense. Same with Dawn and Torterra, they're very good. And honestly, I like Dawn and Torterra much more than Steelix, just because every time Dawn and Torterra get attacked, they are going to be lowering the physical attack of the enemies, so then it makes Torterra and Dawn being able to survive in the battle a lot longer, with them having full restore, and that's very good. And then Glacier and Mega Glalie, they're okay. With the Great Expansion, they're definitely better, but I wouldn't think that they're tier 2 in my personal opinion. Maybe tier 3, but we'll take a look at who is on tier 3. Rosa and Delibird, they're definitely an amazing support, especially with their Great Expansion during Christmas. And then Lily and Clefairy, they're very, very good. Especially with the healing that you get on the sync move. It's not a lot of healing, but it's actually very good. It definitely can come in clutch, for sure. Then you got Erica and Comfy, and they are a very good support type as well. But compared to tier 1, of course, tier 1 is like on another level. Like, honestly, they're insane. But this is a solid tier 2 list. And I'm going to try to go through as much as as fast as possible, just because there is quite a bit we need to go through. But yeah, like, honestly, tier 2 is definitely good. Maybe Rotom can be tier 3 depending, but I'm just going based on my personal experience with Rotom. But yeah, if it wasn't for that evasiveness treating me unkindly, I probably would agree with this. But with my luck with the evasiveness with Rotom, I would rather place Rotom in tier 3. But the Breathtaking is very good, of course. Like, getting closer to your sync move very fast with that is very good, of course. But with my personal opinion or my personal experience with Rotom and the evasiveness, yeah, it's not good. But honestly, if anything, maybe I'd actually place Torterra in support tier 1, maybe. But tier 2 is definitely very good, maybe a very high tier 2. But honestly, tier 2 is looking pretty solid. But yeah, anyways, tier 3. Tier 3, we have Superior with Relief, Eevee. Then we have Dusknoir, Torchic, and Salomons. And right away, I definitely take Eevee and put Eevee in tier 4. Eevee does have potential for sure, but we just don't have a great expansion for Eevee. With the sync grid, or with the sync move buffs that Eevee can give to the team and everything, it is very good, of course. But without a grid, it is sort of limited on what it can do, because you don't have MP refresh it on Potion. With the grid, Eevee definitely has a lot more potential, but right now it is just it's okay. And then with the grid expansion with Dusknoir, definitely very, very good, of course. With the grid expansion, maybe I'd actually place Dusknoir in tier 2 and then put Glalie in tier 3. That's personally what I would do. But Rosa and Superior, they're definitely good. What holds them back is not having healing, because Rosa does give +4 special attack to the team, and then she has a move gauge refresh, which is actually very good, because the chances of you getting an MP refresh on the move gauge refresh is very, it is very high. But honestly, I feel tier 3 is respectable for Rosa and Superior, because they're actually good. But compared to these other supports in tier 2, it is hard for Rosa and Superior to sort of match them on what they can do. And then we got Torchic. They're good. Torchic is very good. If Torchic could evolve, of course it would be a lot better, because then the stats are going to be a lot better as well. But for what Torchic can do right now, it is good. And in the future, if Torchic ends up getting a grid, of course, it's going to be much, much better. And then if it does get a grid with MP refreshes on its training move and everything, then Torchic would probably even be in tier 2. But right now, without a grid, tier 3, honestly, I think is good. But regardless, Torchic is still very good as a support type. And it has proven itself multiple times. And I do use Torchic quite a bit in my showcases as well. So Torchic is definitely very good. Is it an optimal support? I wouldn't say so, but if we want to just have fun with random sync pairs, then Torchic is a very good option for that. Because Torchic could also increase your special attack by 4 stages, and then same with physical attack, and then you also get crit up with Torchic, and then he has flame charge, and that could also increase his speed just for himself. But even just by increasing the speed for himself, he is going to be increasing the move gauge bar substantially. Not like an insane amount like Swanna would give, but it is a good amount, and it would be faster. And then we got Salomons here, and I feel Salomons is actually decent and is underrated actually. He's decent, of course, with a grid as well, just like with Eevee. Salomons could be much better as well, but honestly, I actually play Salomons and Eevee in tier 4, and this is tier 4 right here. In tier 4, I would actually say this is a good tier 4. This is probably where these guys actually belong. But Probopass is actually decent with the wide guard that he has, and then Sharon. Like if these guys have grids, like of course all these guys would be much higher on the list, but without grids, like they're sort of suffering. But personally, out of tier 4, I like Samuro and Hilbert much better, or like a lot more out of these 3 over here, just because I love Samurott and I love Hilbert. But honestly, they kind of shafted Hilbert quite a bit with Samurott. Like, yeah, having speed is good, of course, like that's always going to be good. But again, it always comes down to sync grid. There could be some sync pairs that don't have a grid that could actually be very good, of course. But having a grid would obviously be much better. And like it is shown that having a grid for a sync pair is gonna be more beneficial than a sync pair that's not gonna have a grid. And then for tier 5 we have this, and this I can agree with. Honestly, I would say Maylene and Metachan. They're kind of underrated, I would say, but there's other sync pairs that can do exactly what they can do and a little bit more as well. So yeah, they're definitely gonna get outshadowed or outshined, just because like I said, there are sync pairs that can do exactly what they can do and a little bit more as well, or extra. And then Marley and Arcanine, there's nothing I can say about that. They belong there. And then you got Cheryl and Blissey, and same thing, they belong there. It does suck, but it is what it is. What can you do? And then you got the physical strike tier list, and for tier 1 we got Mega Metagross, Mega Garchomp, Steven and Sandslash, and then Zekrom. That is surprising, seeing Steven and Sandslash over there. Wow. Oh man. But for the physical strikers for tier 1, this I actually kind of agree with. Steven and Sandslash is very good. Sandslash can create his own Hailstorm after the sync move, and then with his grid and everything, he could heal in the Hailstorm and everything, and then he has Flinch on Icicle Crash. Like, he's actually very good. And then Garchomp in Sandstorm, obviously that's where his max potential is going to be, but without a Sandstorm, his damage is going to drop substantially. But even without a Sandstorm, he can actually do a good amount of damage too, and we know how ridiculous Metagross is. He's insane. And then with the new addition of N and Zekrom, they are definitely very good. They're very good, and honestly, I'd probably say they're the best strikers when it comes to starting off the battle with on how much damage they can do right out of the gate. So this I definitely agree with for sure. And then of course, let me know what you guys think. Like, do you agree with the list so far? Let me know down in the comments, of course. But tier 1, I definitely agree with. Sandslash was just a surprise, but let's see tier 2 and see if anyone okay. Okay. Actually, you know what? I agree with this. I actually agree with this. A lot of recoil Pokemon are in tier 2. Wow, okay. But anyways, Zacian, I actually kind of agree with. just because he is very situational. But in majority of the battles, they're going to be having their sync move buff. And we know with Zacian, when the enemy has a sync move buff, his damage is going to be a lot higher, almost doubled for Behemoth Blade and for a sync move when they have the sync move buff. And like I said, it is going to be situational, but in majority of the fights, like the Legendary Arena, Battle Villa, they're going to be having their sync move buff active. So you're going to be getting that damage buff, but it's not going to be 100% of the time. So in a way, I guess, like I said, it is going to be situational. But I feel this is fair. I feel this is fair because the only way for him to really get to his max potential for his physical attack is if you have support. And the only way to have crit is if you have his trainer move, which is going to guarantee you a crit. Unless you have support on the team that can give you a crit as well. So like not being self-sufficient in that way kind of hurts him. So I actually agree with having him in tier 2. Mighty Ina we have in tier 2 along with Lycanroc, and then we have Grimsley with Signasuit, Signasuit Grimsley with Mega Sharpedo. And then we got Iris with Haxorus, and then we got Elisa and Zebstrika, and then we got Guzma with Golisopod, and then we got Hilda with Emboar. Now I actually agree with this. Maybe not like completely, but Elisa and Zebstrika, they did get their 6-star awakening. So with their 6-star awakening, they're definitely going to be a lot better with that AoE, sync move. And then same with Iris and Haxorus. And then we got Hilbert and Mighty Ina, which is actually a very good physical dark type. And then Grimsley, like it's a gamble, and that's his whole gimmick, and I do really like that, and it's a lot of fun as well. Guzma and Golisopod, even though they don't have their 6-star awakening, their grid is very good. With having Pin Missile, I think it is. Pin Missile. With the grid, when you have them 3 out of 5, getting a guaranteed 5 hits is actually very strong. And Hilda and Emboar, they're actually pretty solid as well. So you know what? This tier list so far is actually good. I'm kind of agreeing with this, but I guess we'll continue down the list and see where they placed all these other sync pairs, and we'll go from there and then see where I would personally place them. But so far for tier 2, I agree with this. Maybe Golisopod, maybe tier 3, but let's see who's in tier 3, and we'll start to make adjustments there. Okay, let's just start out, Jigglypuff. I forgot Jigglypuff was actually a striker, so but anyways, so for tier 3 we have Jigglypuff, Fraligator, Lucario, Drifblim, and Bravery. Fraligator, I wouldn't personally place Fraligator in tier 3, because he is a little bit underwhelming with his damage, but his grid did definitely help him. But I would, I don't know. Let's take a look at tier 4 very quickly. You know what? Yeah, you know what, Fraligator, tier 3, because if you were to place him in tier 4, you're gonna be bunching up with these guys over here, and Fraligator is definitely much better than these guys over here. So yeah, you know what, tier 4, this is fine, and the Fraligator, I guess, tier 3, but it would be a very low tier 3. Out of these guys, I feel Lucario has big potential, but, Drifblim, yeah, they're definitely good. Jigglypuff, very good as well. I would honestly just place Fraligator in the low tier 3. Bravery, I would say maybe mid tier 3. Jigglypuff, high tier 3, and same with Drifblim. But tier 4, yeah, there's not much to say about these guys. Most of these guys, or if all of them, all of them are free to play actually. And then tier 5. Okay, you know what? No, this one, I don't agree with this one that much. Tyranitar, when you get them to 5 out of 5, like, they're much, much better. And I would honestly personally place Tyranitar in tier 4. Maybe in the very low tier 3. Yeah, I would say maybe in the very low tier 3. Just because, like, if Fraligator is up there, at least bring Tyranitar to high tier 4, if anything. Because Tyranitar actually is pretty solid. And I feel that a lot of people sort of underrate him, just because he does have an AoE rock type move, and he has guaranteed crits and everything, and he does raise his own physical defense. At 5 out of 5, like, this guy is actually decent. I mean, 20 out of 20, 5 stars, like, he's actually decent. And then now we're going into the physical striker. There's not much to say about tier 1. Not much to say about that. You got Mega Charizard X, and that's enough said. He's just insane. For tier 2, for physical strikers, wait, physical? Oh, special. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So special. There's not much to say about the Charizard still. And then for special, we got Volcarona, Scolipede, or Sceptile. And then we got Lucamine, and then we got Cynthia with Komao, and then we got Blue, Mega Houndoom, Lance and Dragonite, Wally, and then we got Ethan and Typhlosion. And honestly, I agree with this. I definitely agree with this. Like, you're not gonna place any of these guys on the same tier as Red and Charizard just because they're literally on another level. Like, they're insane. So it's gonna be very hard to place other Pokemon or other special Pokemon on the same tier as Red and Charizard just because they're just insane. So like this can literally be on its own tier, like a god tier, and then we could have tier 1 with these guys. That's what we could basically do. But honestly, I agree with this. They're all very good, especially with Typhlosion's grid expansion a while back. That definitely made him much better. And then I did do a recent video on Mega Houndoom, and we saw with the multipliers that he got from his grid expansion and everything, like, he is insane. He's very good. And the same with Sceptile and their grid expansion during like the beginning of December. When it is still very recent that they got their grid expansion. I can't remember exactly when, but I think it was like early December. Oh no, I think it was like the second week of December or something like that. I think so. But anyways, with their grid expansion, like, they were probably like in maybe tier 3, high tier 4. And then with the grid expansion, they just jumped to like high tier 2. Like, honestly, they're insane. And then with Komao, Pidgeot, like Pidgeot's grid expansion with getting 6-star and everything, definitely much better. And honestly, tier 2, I agree with this. I agree with tier 2. They're actually good. So let's just go to tier 3 now. Tier 3? Huh. Okay. Okay, yes, definitely I agree with Barry and Empoleon. They're an insane sync nuker. Palkia, I actually agree with this as well, because Palkia with the Critical Strike 9 on his passive, that's like another level right there. Like literally one of the best free-to-play Pokemon in the game. And then Leavanny and Berg, definitely very good. Caitlyn and Claire, they're pretty solid, but I wouldn't say they're tier 3. If anything, maybe low tier 3. And then Fantina and Miss Magius, or Magius. With their grid expansion and all, they're definitely pretty solid as well. So, if anything, Caitlyn and Claire, I would place them in the low tier 3. And then Barry, Empoleon, and Palkia, I would place them in mid tier 3. And Fantina and Leavanny in the high tier 3, of course. Maybe Barry in the high tier 3 actually as well, just because he's insane with his sync nuke. And then tier 4, we have this, and honestly, just from taking a look at this at a quick glance, I agree with this. Mewtwo would definitely be a lot higher. Like, he'd probably be in tier 3 as well, but he's just not self-sufficient when it comes to giving himself the special attack increases. But besides that, like, the rest of these guys are almost like free to play. All of them are, except for Salazzle, and it's so funny to see how Salazzle is stuck in tier 4 with all these free to play Pokemon. It's insane. It just shows how bad Salazzle and Plumeria are. But this one I agree with. And then now 4, and then now I don't know what I'm saying. But anyways, now we're on to the tech, and then for tier 1 for the tech, right away, I agree with this one. Mega Venusaur and Delphox, they're an insane tech type, and that's basically enough said about them. They're just insane. And then for tier 2 tech, quick glance at this, I agree, again. Professor Oak and Mew, they're always going to be very good as a free-to-play. Because like having Swift and then lowering a stat at random on the Pokemon is just very good as well, because you can get very lucky and get the stat increases that you're looking for. And then when you sync move, you get very powerful moves like Fire Blast, Thunder, Blizzard, and all. Like, Mew is definitely a pretty solid sync pair for a tech type as well. And then we got Crobat, Palisand, Volkner, Luxray, and then we got Musharna. And with them having like weather condition moves, Palisand, Luxray, and Musharna, it's always going to make them relevant and good no matter what, just because of those weather conditions or field effect moves. It is going to help them and the teams that they're on as well. And then for tier 3, okay, you know what? Alright, alright. Okay, for Alicia and Mega Altaria, of course, their stuff is, some of their stuff is going to be situational, but I would probably place them in low tier 3, tier 2, not tier 3. I would honestly place them in low tier 2. And then same with Togekiss, like they are actually pretty solid too. Yeah, this is gonna be my opinion, but I'm personally gonna put Mega Altaria, Milotic, and Skyla and Togekiss in low tier 2. That's where I would place them. But the rest of these guys, I'd keep them in tier 3. And then for tier 4, Pikachu, no, for a tech type? I mean, he is a striker, but wait, hold on. No, there's no way. What? Yeah, no, Pikachu's a striker. Why is he in the tech category? What? That makes no sense. Hold on, what? Yeah, this is tech. Why is Pikachu down there? What? Okay, but anyways, let's just say he is a tech type. I'd place this guy in high tier 3, not tier 4. What? Don't know. And then same with Mimikyu, tier 3. Mimikyu goes in tier 3. And then Silvally, he's solid, but I would place him in low tier 3, not tier 4 with these guys. Yeah, I don't know, with like third, okay, GamePress is what the tier list. My mind went blank. with their tier list, it was going good. And then we got to the end of the tech tier. I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, Mimikyu and Silvally, I'm gonna place him in low tier 3, and then Pikachu would be, if he was a tech type, I'd place him in high tier 3 or maybe low tier 2. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it. Yeah, so that's gonna be it for the tier list. Honestly, it was going good until we came to here, and actually with Onyx and Brock, I'd probably place them in low tier 3 as well, because they got Potion, and then with their Synchroid expansion as well, they became much better too. So yeah, that's probably gonna be like what I think. Yeah, that's gonna be what I think. There's a little bit of weirdness with these grid or with these tier lists, but for the most part, I definitely agree with like probably 85% of this. But for the rest, they were okay. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the tier list. Let me know what you guys think. Right now, Pokemon Mastered is sort of in a slow spot right now, because they did, like, we came off of Christmas and the New Year, so now we're sort of taking like a little bit of a slow turn until the 1.5 year mark for the anniversary, and then with the 25-year anniversary for Pokemon as well in the same month. Next month is going to be huge, so they're probably just preparing for next month. So it's a little bit slow, so that's why I thought let me just do a tier list from GamePress. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think of this. This video might be a little bit longer than my normal videos, but I wanted to get through all of the tiers. But like I said, let me know if you guys agree with this tier list. If you don't, let me know where you would want to place these guys. If you agree with my little adjustments as well, let me know. But yeah, comment what you think. This is always fun to do. But that's gonna be it, and I'll see you guys later.